Hey guys, today we're going to be looking at 6 tips to make you faster on F124. I was inspired when my friend Ryan made 5 tips that summarized ideas from a lot of my videos.
As we then have the double turn-in method. Now this, so don't forget to keep standard mixture on your outlaps.
So I'm going to do 6 tips going from easy to advanced. Tip number 1, know your tire temps. It's easy to do. These are the values where you want to be within these windows of range. Some tracks you cannot be within the windows, but most tracks you can. Usually it's run max tire pressures. A few tracks you can lower front tire pressures a bit if they're a little bit too cold. Then if you are having problems with tire temps, you start on the harder compounds. So you go hard, medium, or you go medium, soft. Some tracks, if you start on the softs or the mediums, it's going to make be higher in tire temps. That's because you have more fuel in the opening laps. Tip number 2, understanding your force feedback settings. A lot of people, they set it once, never look at it again. Actually look at what you're using. Look at some other guides. I have a guide for CSLDD, but for most, the general ideas is less is more when it comes to force feedback. You don't want to go too high, you get clipping, and you don't want too many effects on. So lower all those effects or turn them off completely. That's what the fastest drivers are doing. Throttle jump. I have a video on this about medium difficulty. This is good for reducing understeer. So when you're at the apex of the corner, you don't slowly get on the throttle. You jump on the throttle, and then you start slowly applying more throttle percentage. This is a big game changer for some people who are used to some games or some cars where you need to go very slowly on throttle. This, you can jump on throttle. You just have that much downforce, that much grip, that you can be aggressive on the initial application of throttle. Otherwise, you'll get understeer. If you're going slow, but then you think, okay, I want more oversteer, so I'm going to start applying more throttle, then I'll get oversteer. So that's why you could start losing time there. Number 4, drop braking. That's a trail braking variation on F124. This one's kind of hard, especially if you've played other games, and if you don't have great pedals, or if you're on controller or something, it's hard to get this movement down. But once you do, it's really going to help you. Hard on the brakes, drop the brakes, 10 to 20% brake modulation. That's going to be a big game changer in how you're driving. That's how all the esports drivers drive. They're all driving. They're all braking that way in hard braking zones. Aggressive steering. This is another hard one. I made a video about the double flick. People talk about that sometimes. If you're not the top, I would not be trying to do a double flick. You can start, if you want to start, you can get more aggressive on the steering. So when I say aggressive on the steering, it means turning the wheel quickly. It doesn't mean turning the wheel a lot. If you turn the wheel a lot, you're just going to get understeer, and you're not going to be any faster. It's being quick with the movement of the steering. And in order to be quick, you need to know how much steering to apply. So it comes with practice. It comes, okay, at this corner, I need to go 40 degrees, or at this corner, I need to go 90 degrees of steering. So that's how you kind of, with practice, you can get used to how much steering to apply, and then you can start getting faster in how you're steering. And most drivers are quick, but there are a few fast drivers, Brendan Lee, who's a bit smoother on the steering. But something you can start trying to ramp up is how aggressive you are on the steering. Number 6, maximizing your driving time and how you practice. So something, when I was a mid-tier WR driver, I'll be watching laps in class or watching laps at work and just getting some braking points down. Most of these tracks, there's not that many braking points. There's maybe 5 braking points, a lot of tracks. Is it braking at 100, braking at 90 meters, braking at the black box? So getting those down, thinking how much do I need to brake? That's before you even touch the game. So it's that pre-work that you're doing before you even get on the game, that once you're on the game, you can get the braking points down within a lap or two, and then you're then working on pace. So it's not so much time spent figuring out braking points. Research setups. So you can look at some guides on YouTube. I have a server where me and my friend were selling setups. There's lots of setups out there. Pick a setup and don't spend too much time changing it. If you're more than a second off the pace, it's all about driving technique. It's not about finding the right setup. Even at the top level, drivers I work with, like once you get fast, you can start personalizing setups, but it's not the holy grail. If you slap on Optmio setup, it's not going to make you a second faster. If you're already in something close of what you need to be at. How you practice also matters too. You want to be utilizing flashbacks if you're doing time trial. If you want to, focus on one corner. If your one corner is really struggling, don't wait for the whole lap and then try to do the corner again. You can go do a lap, flashback. You can do that in qualifying too. If there's one corner that's giving you problems, practice it 5, 10 times. Get that corner down. When you're doing qualifying, avoid outlaps. It's not that hard to do an outlap. I have videos on how to do an outlap. If you're by yourself doing qualifying, just go right. Just go right onto track. Don't go start from the pit. Start from on track. Time trial, yeah, same thing. If you're doing race laps by yourself, this is one thing I see. Turn off collisions. So that means the AI is all ghosted, and then make them either really high or really low. So you're just driving by yourself. You set it to 110 AI, then I would wait 5 seconds at the line, and then I would go. So I would never catch up to them, or maybe it depends on the track. Sometimes you would, or you set them to 0 AI, and then you just go off, and then you're driving in clean air. Don't be driving around in with the AI. That's not great practice. Obviously, having a friend to practice with, that would be key. And it's really good to do sessions. But to start, you start on time trial, you do some quali, you do some race laps by yourself, then you start practicing in multiplayer sessions with someone else. So hopefully these 6 tips can help make you faster. So thank you so much for watching. See ya. Bye.